Hello and welcome in to hopefully the first of 4 races here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV for the Blackout Racing League. Race number 1 for us, number 5 for this group here in season number 3, driving the trucks. Is going to be here at Nashville Super Speedway, and I got a special guest in the booth with me, Mr. Christian Taylor, come to commentate this race with me. How you doing, Christian?
Doing good. We're here in the great racetrack of Nashville Super Speedway, which they call the Super Speedway. Why? I don't know. Going to be looking for some good racing here, though, tonight.
Yeah, that's always been an interesting point. I don't know why they call it a super speedway either, but it's definitely not a super speedway by name. But it's a fun track regardless. It's a bit interesting with the concrete. It leads to some interesting tire wear and whatnot. But I'm sure a lot of these guys are excited for this race tonight, as they've had a couple of weeks off from broadcasts, and I can't replace Brandon Smith, but hopefully I can do a good enough show here to help these guys out for the next couple weeks. But heading into qualifying here, looking at Dylan Moranti out of Northampton, PA, looking to set his quick time. I can't even remember who was quickest in practice, but not the biggest field tonight, about 10 drivers out there, maybe 11. It should be some fun racing, do you think, Christian?
Definitely so. From Music City to Motor City Speed, they're turning laps faster than a banjo picker's fingers out there tonight.
I like that. That's pretty good. Is Dylan getting into the wall on his first lap there? I don't think that's going to make a good time for him.
That makes his lap invalid. Going to have to try again on his second lap. He's going around turns 4 here, though. Going to get round up and attempt it one more time around.
I got to say, I don't have the graphics for the Harpoon Design Peep the paints, but I got to say, if we did have them, that one would be a contender. I love the Vice kind of vibe for that 36 truck.
Yeah, I hear the GTA Vice City theme song playing in my head right now. Man, oh man.
I don't know if it's just the colors or what it is, but that thing looks sharp.
It's
Connor
got the palm
Gerard in the
trees.
chat. Hey, saying woo Nashville, and says sup Taylor. Always good to
Hey,
see Connor.
Definitely the GOAT of HMS TV right there. Connor, he knows who the #1 streaming service is.
That is true. Is Dylan Moranti quickest on the board so far? Quint Hightower, who I believe is William Hightower, tried to get that top spot, couldn't do it. Kurt Bray gonna finish his laps up in the 99. I believe he's the current points leader, sitting on top of the board with a 30.51.
The 7707 machine of Max Milazzo on screen right now, attempting his qualifying effort. Justin Bell going to fall into the 5th position with a 30.67. Max Milazzo on the board with a 8th place effort. Not the best.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I believe his second lap might have been a little bit slower than his first, but there's a fair share of familiar faces from Wednesday night's PGR stream, and a lot of new faces as well. A lot of the drivers are shared between leagues, a bit of a partnership between the leagues, but good to see some familiar faces as Justin Bell finishes his qualifying effort out of Topeka, Kansas. Good enough for that stay in the 5th place.
Yep, some familiar faces indeed, ones that we have years of racing against. Jesse, I remember good old Justin Bell told me he was going to wreck me one time at Bristol, and did.
I remember y'all had about a 5 or 6 week streak of getting into each other, and it's like you can't tell if it's a real rivalry or a fake one, but I think it turned into a real one for a bit as we watched Charles Chucky Balance start his qualifying effort.
Absolutely. Let's see what Chucky could do, but just a little bit of a story time. Me and Justin had a little bit of a pact. We were going to have just a fake rivalry for the broadcast back in, I think this was this in Donut Box, or was this the last season of PGR we raced in? I'm not sure.
It's been so
but nonetheless,
long, man.
Yes. But nonetheless, we were in the middle of it, and we said that we were going to do this. But then he actually wrecked me, and I'm like, okay, I thought we were just, playing, but all right. And then the next week we got into each other, and it just turned into like, okay, now one of us got upset, but nonetheless, we let, all the stuff in the past be the past. talked it out before the end of that season, and all was good. This camp.
Yeah, it's been some history between you and Justin Bell, but glad to see him out on the track once again. Chucky Balance getting a 7th place effort. The only person left on the track here is the 24 of Brian Newell. His qualifying effort's over. He's getting some extra practice laps in.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, sometimes if I'm late to the practice, sometimes I'll use qualifying myself to get a couple extra laps in. Never hurts anything to get a couple extra laps.
You are always late to the practice session. What are you talking about, Jesse?
Yeah, it is a bit of a bad habit of mine. I'd always show up fashionably late to a race. I gotta say, I feel like I'd win a lot more races if I took the time to practice, but I generally I show up and just hope it works out for me, really.
Jesse could show up any day and run top 5 in just about any league. You know, top 10 to be conservative, but just a little bit of effort. I think he could be championship contender in no matter what league he puts himself in.
Yeah, I've won a championship in my day. I don't know if we'll ever see another one, but one of them is good enough for me. As I believe we've got probably about 4 minutes left here in this qualifying session. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you before we get ready to go green here from Nashville Super Speedway. Stay tuned. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. We might have a few new viewers for the new league here tonight. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We're making that push towards 1,000. It would really help us out. But we'll be back shortly.
Go.
back with you here from Nashville Super Speedway for some Blackout Racing League action. We're going to keep the music up because shortly we're going to be getting into the starting grid for tonight's race. But before we do, Christian, what are you most excited about seeing tonight out of these drivers? Is it about the track, about a certain driver, about the trucks? What are you ready to see today?
Well, I can't say that I've ever drove the trucks at Nashville, so I'm interested to see the pairing. This is a concrete jungle of a track. So, and I'm looking at the track temperature right now. I'm seeing 93 degrees, which isn't that bad. But it's going to be interesting to see how that temperature changes things as the race goes along.
But let's not dilly-dally any longer, and let's get right into it here as these drivers are getting ready to go. Green flag racing here shortly. Let's get into the starting grid of the Lamar Advertising 195. On the front row in the 99, Kurt Bray. To his outside is going to be the 36 of Dylan Moranti.
Moving back to row number 2, you got Quint Hightower. And to his outside, Travis Burton in that 92 Blackout Motorsports machine.
Row number 3 has the 8 of Justin Bell on Team Blackout with Brian Newell in the 24 Dub Racing to his outside.
Moving back to row number 4, you got Charles Chucky Balance. To his outside, Ivan Deschamps in that 7 from Cam Kings.
And row number 5 is going to be the 88 of Logan Gill. To his outside, the 77 of Max Milazzo.
And the final row, you'll find Anthony Alex in the 54 machine from the United States.
Let's get this grid out of here. Get ready for some racing, as I believe the pace car is about to come off, and it does. We're going to go green flag racing for the first time here in the Blackout Racing League from Nashville. 130 laps on tap. Green flag is out. Kurt Bray gets a good launch. William Hightower in the 45 drops to the bottom, getting out of Dodge. But we are green for the first time here in the Blackout Racing League.
Bray leading into turn 1. Dylan Moranti on his tail, seeing what he could do to 92. Back in 3rd place, holding up whoever that might be in 4th place or gets into the wall. That's going to be Travis Burton and Brian Newell.
Yeah, Newell, Burton, and Justin Bell here in a tight group of cars battling for that 3rd spot. Dylan Moranti trying to put a bid in for that 1st place spot. Not sure if he's going to be able to do it here early, but this third place battle is looking spicy.
Definitely so. Here at Nashville, the concrete is slick and it doesn't forgive many mistakes. This place is either a smash hit or a broken guitar string here in Music City.
Yeah, for sure. The concrete surface. I know there's a lot of people out there that even on iRacing and in real life, something about a concrete surface can either be their favorite place to go or it can be their kryptonite. One of the people I think of, Martin Truex Jr., all those wins at Dover. He loves a good concrete track, and maybe Dylan Moranti does too, as he's fighting Kurt Bray for that lead, your points leader.
Side-by-side action off of the turn here. Bray going to get a little bit of a run off that top side, going to keep it for now. You mentioned Dover. That's one of the 3 tracks on the NASCAR circuit that is actually fully paved in concrete, which this being one of them, Dover and Bristol.
It can lead to some interesting racing. It leads to a bit extra tire wear, as it can be a little bit more of an abrasive surface on the tires. But if you can succeed at a concrete track, you can usually find success on asphalt, as this is some great racing between Kurt Bray and Dylan Moranti here at the front. Kurt Bray not willing to give up that top side.
No, it's not side-by-side action again. Is Moranti going to try to crowd him any off this turn? No, he's going to give him all the room he needs there. As Bray
I almost think the 99 caught the wall a little bit there. I'm not sure, but Moranti going to take the lead over now.
Definitely so. Here comes Travis Burton, though, going to be challenging the 99 of Kurt Bray. We're going to see what he has in store. Travis Burton drove against him a time or two. One, I could say he's definitely one of the harder drivers to pass. He knows how to, I don't know if it's manipulate the air or just make his car where it needs to be to keep him getting around you, but very good at holding position.
Yeah, Kurt Bray out of the frying pan and into the fire, having to hold off that 92 double mint Toyota. When's the last time you had some double mint, Christian?
You know, I can't even tell you the last time. I know my grandma used to like always carry that juicy fruit stuff, can't gum. I meant, but I don't know about double mint.
I can tell you the 88 and the 24 here getting real close to each other. This is your battle for the 5th spot between Logan Gill, last week's winner, and then Brian Newell in that 24 truck.
Definitely so. He's got the hairdo to back that Dale Pride of the 88 machine there.
I was gonna say that is beautiful if that's a real picture there. We gotta get that truck out of the way here so we can take a closer look at that. If that's a real picture, that is a heck of a glorious mane on the driver of the 88. I do not know if it's a real picture or not, but he is advancing through the field right now, all over the back bumper of that 8 truck.
He is pushing that 8 truck through the tri-oval, and ladies and gentlemen, you might not know this, but when Jesse sees a big head of hair like that, you know, he almost thinks of what might have been for himself.
I used to have one back in the day, and then it all migrated south. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. As Logan Gill has went from the 6th spot up to 4th, but Justin Bell, is he giving the bumper to that 88? It almost looked like he thought about it if he didn't do it. He was right there.
It looks like it. He must not be very proud of, you know, getting pushed down the entire front stretch there. He's just trying to give it back as he narrows in on a turn, but, you know, he threw it in that turn like he was about to try to give him the old bump and run, but wasn't able to do so.
As long as he doesn't throw it in there and Kyle Larson and Logan Gill will be happy running in that 4th spot. Dylan Moranti still holding out strong up front with about a 1/3 of a second lead here for the 36 truck.
Definitely so. Not a big runaway yet, though. You know, all these trucks, you know, the entire field's still within 6 seconds of each other. All 10 trucks. Looks like the 54 of Anthony Alex maybe start and parked. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Yeah, the 54 already listed as out of this race. Let's go ahead and walk through the field real quick. Dylan Moranti, of course, your leader, Kurt Bray, the points leader, running 2nd right now with Travis Burton behind him in 3rd. Logan Gill pretty comfortably in 4th now, as we've got a battle for 5th between 3 trucks. You've got we got Justin Bell, Brian Newell, and Charles Balance throwing his name into the hat. Side-by-side racing between the 8 and the 24, almost banging doors.
Definitely so. Behind him, though, you got, trying to enter the bottom himself, you got the 45 of William Hightower, which we assume is William Hightower. Could be his relative.
I couldn't tell you why it says Quint. I'm not sure, but this is great racing. Whoa, almost cleared himself on the 41.
Well, the 41 got into the wall right there and, you know, bounced off. That could have been really bad for all the trucks right there in that little group.
It seems to be kind of sorting itself out. Justin Bell trying to run away from this craziness out of Topeka, Kansas. He's getting a good run away from those guys. Your battle for 2nd starting to heat up a little bit. You got 3 trucks in the picture now. Moranti hoping they get to battling soon and he can grow this lead.
Yep, over a half a second lead now. Back to 3rd place is almost an entire second from our leader. That's the 88, or excuse me, that's Burton. But now we've got Logan Gill back on screen again, battling the 88 truck on his inside. Throughout the entirety of the backstretch into turn 3.
Let's go ahead and hop on board with this 92 truck of Travis Burton and see what he's seeing out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as he slips back to the 4th spot.
He's definitely calling home Baton Rouge, trying to make his strategy play out here tonight.
You reckon Travis Burton is a Garth Brooks fan?
I'm going to say probably not. It doesn't strike me as the country music type, but I could be completely wrong.
He might not like Garth Brooks, but he also could be 2 of a kind working on a full house. It's hard to tell sometimes. I don't even know what that reference meant, but it was a Garth Brooks song, so I rolled with it.
Definitely so. You know, might hear the thunder roll outside your window tonight as Jesse Becker has a storm going over his house. Maybe everything will stay fine for him.
It certainly was rolling earlier. I think it's calmed down now, but that's a good reference. I should have thought about that one, to be honest with you.
Yep, you got to be quick. You got to be on the whim. Bam, bam, bam. You know, if it comes to your mouth, you just got to come out. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, I definitely get that, as this lead for Morante's starting to shrink now. It seems to be flip-flopping a little bit. Like, it seems that, like, at one point the 36 is growing the lead, and then all of a sudden the 99 is reeling him back in. Then the lead grows, and the 99 reels him back in. Whether that's just the 99 gets close, and then with the arrow he can't, find a lane around, or if, the 36 is saving tire. Which one do you think it is?
I think it all comes down to that 99's Trackhouse number on side. It adds an extra 15 horsepower, just representing Team Trackhouse right there. That's definitely what it is. He has a switch. You could just apply 15 horsepower to that machine. And
it's even a Coke Zero truck. I feel like if Suarez drove in the truck series, I feel like this would be a truck that he would drive.
Definitely so. Coca-Cola on board, representing Jesse's bonus money right here. That is Jesse's bonus money. Driving around on the track, he ain't getting it. They put it all in advertising.
See, I didn't get the information for controlling the drone from Blake. He doesn't trust me with it when he's not here, which is kind of silly, I think, being that with his track record. But we do have a drone controller here who's strictly told to just keep the drone in a strict position. But here's the drone shot of that 99 as he's trying to chase down Dylan Morante right now.
Just select the iRacing window, Jesse, and press Control F12. We don't have to listen to Blake.
Oh boy, you think I'm smart enough to have those controls in my pocket here? Now what do I do?
Now press W.
Press W. Oh geez. Oh man.
WASD.
I feel like this is dangerous. Oh god.
Watch out! Don't destroy this drone here. Jesse Becker live on stream, driving the drone around Nashville. We ain't telling Blake. He told us specifically just only let the trained drone pilots handle it, but we don't listen here. Just put it back where it goes. We'll turn it back to another camera, and it'll all be okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand the remote back to the professionals here. That's it. The adrenaline was unreal there, but I feel like I need to put that away for something bad happens.
Definitely so. Connor says drone time. Connor, if you don't tell Blake, we won't either.
Yeah, we gotta keep that secret. Nothing much happening throughout the field. The last pass we had for position happened about 8 laps ago. Everybody's been single file, getting spread out. Anything
we started
catching your eye out there right now?
Not really. We started talking about the 99 catching Morante. He fell back, and now he's catching him again. This is like an accordion. We are at Music City. They're up there playing the accordion. Giving the old Dallas. Excuse me, I'm trying to change cities. Giving the old Nashville jig here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure both are associated with country music. One
Definitely
way
so.
more than the other, but truth be told, I don't really know too much about it.
They say this is a super speedway, but with all these guys, spaced out like they are, it's more like a honky-tonk brawl at 180 miles an hour.
I can see that as we look at the lap time difference here. These guys are running very, very similar lap times. I mean, you look at lap 21 specifically, they were within 1/1000th of a second of each other on the track with their lap times. They're very evenly matched here.
Definitely so. I'm just taking a quick look at the track map. We have the leader there just past the start-finish line with the last person pretty much just dead even on the back of the track. That last place is 77 of Milazzo there, Max Milazzo. Ivan Deschamps passed him recently, I'd say.
Yeah, Max Milazzo in the 77/07 doing a great job right now holding down the Hutchinson Motorsports battle for last.
It's a noble prize.
7 holding down that 9th place spot. Look at the wolf on that hood.
Definitely so. Timberwell, is that what that says on this paint there? We gotta do a little. We don't have the graphics, but let's do a little peep to paint here.
I believe we've got Timber
cameras?
Wolf there.
Okay. There you go. Cam King Trucks. Another racing league that I've never personally been a part of, but I've heard about it my entire iRacing tenure. It's Cam Kings. Gonna go up to the walls here. Look at those shots. These are live people, by the way, sitting on the wall, holding their cameras to get the best shots here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV.
You aren't kidding. It's some dangerous work, but it's what it takes to bring the #1 streaming service to life here at Hutchinson Motorsports TV.
Definitely so. Speaking of dangerous work, we have somebody up in the sky.
Are you referencing the Hutchinson Motorsports blimp?
Definitely so. Brantley Roden is up here driving the blimp. It is a dangerous job solely because he actually got into a can't be much high speed, a low speed police chase a couple races back. Turns out though there was a mix-up. He was actually detained, but it was not him. It was another blimp that happened to look quite similar. Turns out it was the iRacing blimp.
Yeah, that'll happen. It's like you go in the store and you come out and you think you're walking to your blimp, but it's somebody else's identical blimp next to yours, and all of a sudden you get in and you're like, this isn't my blimp. This is strange,
Definitely so. But if you are looking for a NASCAR paint scheme, head on over to harpoondesign.com today. Paints start at only $25, and you will have one of the best looking paint schemes on the track. He is also the #1 painter on Trading Paints. If you do not believe me, go check it for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you think in your head, you're like, why would I pay $25 for a paint when I can just draw one up myself? And then you go to Trading Paints and you look at his paint and you go, I can get something like that for only $25. Yeah, sign me up.
Definitely so. harpoondesign.com. Check it out.
But here on lap 30 of 130, we've went clean and green the entire way through so far. Let's go ahead and take our first break of the green flag racing of the evening. But don't you worry, you're not going to miss a thing, as we're going to go Hutchinson Motorsports TV side by side. Stay tuned for when we come back. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll be back shortly. As we come back live here in the Lamar Advertising 195, we have had a caution. Justin Bell has crashed. Let's see if we've got a replay of it here.
Let's take a look here. Justin Bell coming out of pit road. Oh, it's happened in front of him.
Yeah, we've got to go back and look at that from a different angle, but looks like he sees him coming across, locks it up, smokes the wall.
But
let's go back and
that was
see
a delayed reaction.
That.
We're gonna have to go up to Travis Burton there.
Yeah, let's ride with the 92 here off of pit road. Let's see if we can spot what might have happened. These guys have just come onto pit road. They were exiting pits here.
Taking what looks to be a normal pit. Oh, the 88 just comes down and smokes them. What in the world? The 88 of Logan Gill just comes down off the track, takes out the pitting Travis Burton.
Is there something I'm missing here? Where was he going?
I'm not sure. Let's just see. Did he get into the wall off corner X? Let's see
right
there.
On board with the 88.
All right, you can see the steering wheel down at the bottom there under the name. He sees him coming off pit road. Looks like he's fighting it a little bit, but just hard left, hard right, bam, takes him out, spins up the track. Caution comes out.
Now, I gotta say, that is one of the most confusing wrecks I've ever seen. But maybe there's something we're missing here. I don't know if there's something we're missing or not, Christian. But I'll just leave it at that. But that definitely looked quite interesting as we go back live here.
That was something there. That guitar was definitely out of tune here in Music City. I'm not sure what that was. I'm shocked there's not some yelling in the chat right now, because I know I wouldn't be silent after something like that.
I'm telling you, there's some busted strings or something. But Kurt Bray wins the race off of pit road. We were in the middle of a pit cycle there. If we look at our patented Hutchinson Motorsports TV pit board, you see the top four there, Bray, Morante, Deschamps, and Newell. They'd all stayed out. They didn't pit before that yellow flew. So they were able to come down pit road, get fresh tires and fuel, come back out in the lead. Everybody else having to take waiver rounds here. As you see the 07, the 8, the 92 in front of the 99 there, they're going to have to get waiver rounds as the pace car's lights are off, 1 to green.
After the most interesting wreck I think I've seen in a while.
It makes you wonder what could have been, because I wasn't far from saying that I thought this race was going to go 130 laps clean and green, and it probably should have.
You know, and if he got loose off the turn, wouldn't he have spun up the track into the wall, then down? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'm not willing to make any accusations on it, but it does seem like it had a bit of a fishy smell, a very fishy smell that smelled fishy.
A fishy smell that smelled fishy. He's not saying it was a fish, but if it flaps like a fish and smells like a fish, that's all we're gonna say.
But anyways, we get to watch more of the same battle that we've been enjoying so far tonight. The 99 and the 36, starting this thing off once again for the second time the green flag has flown here at Nashville Super Speedway.
And it's out. Green flag in the air. We are back racing here at Nashville side by side, as they've been most of the night. If they've been not been side by side, they've been close. But Brian Newell trying to put his nose into this battle, saying, hey guys, let me in. I'm faster than you, and I'm going to come up the track here because I got loose off the turn.
I almost thought that the 99 was going to clear himself in that corner, but Dylan Morante did a good job of keeping that 36 truck on his outside, but he's going to clear him this time.
Definitely so. So we head up to the wall cam to watch the field pass, and then got Charles on the screen here. A three-way battle for fifth, it looks like, between the 41, the 0777, that is, who is actually 2 laps down now.
Yeah, we're getting some moving around happening farther back in the field, but we keep our eyes up front because I don't think that the battle between the 99 and the 36 is going to be over anytime soon here.
Let's see what happened to Travis Burton.
Yeah, let's see if we can go back and get a look at that. I see that here on my end. Let's see if we can spot what happened to the 92 truck.
We got a report that he crashed. He was the one that just got completely obliterated off pit road. He's just going to lose it right here. Hard into the outside wall. Ladies and gentlemen, he might not be okay. The 92 of Travis Burton. Caution does not come out in his favor as he pulls it on off the track. Is he going to tow?
That was a huge hit for the 92. No yellow, as you said. He's going to have to tow that thing to pit road. We're still green flag racing. Oh, brutal hit. Just got loose there. I'm really surprised that didn't draw a yellow, but I guess with him being in the back of the field, it kind of, the race control's discretion, they said that the field isn't coming, so they weren't going to toss it.
Yeah, definitely an interesting hit. And some interesting radio conversation coming on that we cannot repeat on TV. It's not no one arguing. It's just some, let's just say, interesting topics.
Save that one for the Blackout Racing League Radio Active if there is one. We're not going to play it live here for you, but what we will play live for you is this incredible race in between the 99 and the 36. I'm telling you, I think Morante's best chance here to get that lead back, he needs to get aggressive on this 99 truck.
Definitely so. You got to get your nose in there onto his backside. Just give it a little push up the track. Not to wreck him. You just got to rattle his cage a little bit.
That's all you got to do is just a little bit of cage rattling. Nothing too crazy.
Definitely so. You know, it's nothing to be in a, an old-fashioned bar in Nashville and see somebody throwing a chair off of the building. A little fight breaking out in the corner.
99 going way up the track there. I almost thought for a second he was giving the spot up, but he might have just bit. His strategy here might just be to protect the outside lane and just use that momentum through the corner.
Looks like he's going to take his spot back and clear him again for first. As Hightower now putting his nose in the battle for second right now, challenging Morante for that position.
I was going to say, Hightower's definitely loving it right now. He was the winner in week 3 at Darlington, so he's got the speed to come up here and win a race.
Definitely so. Maybe he's just saving his equipment for later on in the race.
Now, all those guys were starting their pit stops. We'll bring it up here again. And you can see there, it tells you the lap these guys came down. All the guys that waited till the yellow, they pitted lap 40, but you had a handful of guys pitting lap 35, 34, 36. I feel like that's telling me this was going to be a 2-stop race if it stayed green. They might still have to come down, I'm assuming at least one more time from here, maybe even twice, as we've got side-by-side racing again for the lead.
What's going to really come down to it is the tires. Who is saving tires the most? Justin Bell is out. Travis Burton is out. The 88's out now. So we're down to only 7 racing trucks. So this is really anyone's race still, as the pack 1 through 6 being on the lead lap comes down to 3 seconds between the entire field. Even Chucky's not out of this one in 6th position.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a small field, but I don't think that's going to change how wild this finish has the potential to be. As we've got, I'd say for sure, our top 4 trucks here all will really have a shot at this thing. And I think it has a really good chance of coming down to the wire between these folks. As Kurt Bray still doing a great job of defending against this 36 truck, but I don't know how long he can hold out.
He actually, Dylan, I'm showing signs of impatience right here. I feel like he wants to get around him right now. He's constantly on his tail.
I I could certainly see that he would want the clean air. That's going to give you the best runaway of this thing. He's trying to keep that 99 close so he can get in front and have that clean air. He doesn't want that 99 truck in front of him to be the one benefiting from that at all.
Definitely so. I heard some radio chatter. If you want to watch a little bit of a replay while we're green flag, that pass for between Charles and Ivan back there for the 5th place, there was actually some words exchanged after that pass. Seemed like Ivan wasn't too proud of that. Right here it is. Chucky working his way around the outside. Oh, just slid it up in front of him. A little bit of a slide job there. That was not very pleasing to Ivan.
May have cut his nose off a little bit, but I've definitely seen way worse.
Definitely so. We're still clean and green here. The battle that we were watching still continues. It seems like whoever's in the lead has the advantage. It just seems like you can't pass here in these trucks, unfortunately.
We'll see if that has any implications towards the end of this thing, and then Lamar advertising 195. Let's run through your field, though, go through where everybody's running currently. We've got this battle here between Kurt Bray and Dylan Moranti. They're 1 and 2 right now. If you look in third position, Brian Newell in the 24.
Back into 4th position, you find William Hightower in that harder lemonade machine. He's just ready to, pop him open a Mike's Harder Lemonade here on the track. However, if you move back to the 5th position, you find Chucky, who just made himself around Ivan DeChamps in that 7 machine.
It says he's out of Pikeville. Are we assuming that's Kentucky? He seems like he could be a Kentucky guy.
Definitely so. I believe so, at least. I can't be too sure.
I mean, it's one of those things where I know there's a Pikeville, Kentucky, but there's probably 20 other Pikevilles around the world, like around the United States, and he could be any of them.
Definitely so. A little bit of a side note here, a segue, if you will. Our race leader, Kurt Bray, just told our 2nd place runner, Dylan, that he was going to send him a TikTok. Check it out. So he is literally leading this race watching TikTok.
That makes me think of Talladega Nights when John Girard's drinking his macchiato and reading his book while he's leading the race.
Yes, definitely so. An interesting conversation you just don't think you'd hear between two hard battling leaders here, but they know what they're doing. Who are we to judge?
You could almost draw that comparison the way the racing's going between these two right now. You could call Kurt Bray Jean Girard. He's leading the points, he's leading the race, and then you got Dylan Moranti trying to redeem himself here. Might make Kurt Bray spill his macchiato if Bray stays in front of him here.
I don't even know what a macchiato is, Jesse. That says a lot.
Dude, I think it's some sort of fancy coffee drink. I've never had one.
Well, I don't think I'll ever have one, but you know what I will go for? And it ain't even a Coke Zero. A Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar is the best drink you could drink. Hands down.
I don't know if Kurt Bray would like to hear you say that with that beautiful number 99 Coke Zero Sugar machine. It says best Coke ever on the side. I guess it doesn't say best soda ever.
No, best Coke ever. Definitely is not the best soda ever. And, I'm not even a Coke fan.
I know the man that runs this joint, Mr. Blake Hutchison. I know he's a big fan of a good cold Coke Zero. He actually was at the Cup race today and got to watch his GOAT, Denny Hamlin, take home the win in the NASCAR Cup Series today. So I'm sure he is out there popping bottles and celebrating while we're here slaving away broadcasting.
Definitely so. A lot of people call Denny Hamlin, he's a bit arrogant, they say, but no, he beat your favorite driver today. He didn't say it, but it's true. If Denny Hamlin is not your favorite driver, he did beat him today.
I'd say he statistically, whenever he said that, he had a really good point. Because, the reporter asked, or whoever it was, asked which one, and his response was simple. All of them.
So, I mean, you can't be mad at him for speaking the truth. I mean, just a man that speaks the truth is the best type of man.
Well, we are just under that halfway point here. It's lap 64 out of 130 laps tonight. Nothing new here for this lead. Dylan Morante sticking right close to that 99 of Kurt Bray. But we are going to go ahead and take another quick break. Go Hutchinson Motorsports TV side by side. You are not going to miss a second. And we'll be back with you shortly. And we're back live here from Nashville Super Speedway in the Lamar Advertising 195. He was your leader in the 99. Kurt Bray just come down pit road. We've got another pit cycle starting, Christian.
Definitely so. What's probably shaping out to be the last pits of the evening here. Kurt Bray taking a cycle. But watching Dylan Morante still on the track. Your race leader now with a 12-second lead over second place to Chucky there, who has already pit himself. No, he's out there on 37-lap old tires also.
Yeah, your top three still yet to come down pit road. Kurt Bray still leads the way for those who have come down pit road. So we'll see how long the 36 truck of Dylan Ronte wants to stay out, and or the 41 of Bounce and 7 of Ivan DeSham. But it's going to bring into question, are you a short pitter, Christian, or do you prefer to do the long game?
You know, I've tried both ways multiple times. It seems like if I stay out trying to play the long game, waiting on the caution, it never comes. I can only think of one time where the caution actually came as I was coming to pit road. I had to get a little helping push down the backstretch from one of my teammates to make sure I could make it back to pit road. But nonetheless, in this stance right here, I'm looking at the fastest car last time around was Kurt Bray, who was our former leader, running almost a second, maybe two faster than the race leader right now. So staying out in this scenario might be hurting Dylan's chances to win.
As we pull up the last lap times there in the tower, you can see Morante's last lap of 31.96. In fourth place there, Kurt Bray. He's lapped down or two, but he is running almost a second and a half quicker than that 36 truck on those fresh tires.
And speaking of being quick, he just turned a new quick time, fastest lap of the night of a 30.51 there. So he is on fire right now.
Yeah, the second closest time, when you look at all the best laps, the second closest time is going to be William Hightower right behind him in the 45, ran a 30.58. But that is definitely a fast time for the 99 of Kurt Bray.
Definitely so, doing what he can to reel in the race leader.
As it almost looks like, I don't know, yeah, they're fairly close on track. He could be working on unlapping himself. Let's hop up to the Harpoon Design blimp, see if we can get a glimpse of that 36 on the track here.
Brantley Roden giving us the best views in the business here from the Harpoon Design blimp. As that 99 truck works its way down the backstretch, I'm going to remind you to go over to harpoondesign.com. Paints start at $25. There's a little red button you can press under the beautiful Harpoon Design logo. That is how you order your Harpoon Design paint. But look at the gap closing there.
And easy. And yeah, you can see just how much faster he is than that 36 truck of Morante.
Definitely so. That's a lap traffic, right? No, that is Dylan. Never mind.
Yeah, Kurt Bray looking to unlap himself.
See, this is where, as the leader, I'd be very concerned. As you know, like the person that I've been battling all night, passing me that fast. Yes, you could say that he's going to be just as fast when he comes out of pits, but I'd rather have the cards in my hand and to rely on the next draw myself.
It's an interesting call for sure. I don't know which way I would go. It's a tough strategy call. The only way we're gonna know which way works out the best is who's gonna be leading at lap 130.
Well, you know, honestly, a lot of times, Jesse, when me and you race a lot together, you'll have a pit strategy thing, and I'll be in my head thinking, you know, I don't like that idea, but I go against it, and it always tends not to work for me. So I've learned in the past couple months to, you know, if you have a pit strategy, follow it, because obviously better than what I had in mind.
It seems like I can nail them sometimes, but other times I'm way off. I don't know what it is, what the trick is, but sometimes I'm either right on the money where I need to be, and other times I just make myself look like an idiot.
Nonetheless, new race leader, as you see Hightower coming in the pits Ivan Deschamps is your new race leader. That's 7 Cam Kings. As Dylan Moranti making his way out of the pit road, which, as we determined earlier from, was it Travis Burton, that's actually a very dangerous spot on the track, apparently.
And if we pull up, let's see if I can get our track map here. Let's see if we can get the 36 truck on there, as well as the 99 truck of Kurt Bray. Give me just 1 second.
While Jesse does that, we were watching Dylan rip it around the track with a new quick time on the track. P5, Charles Chucky Balance, and that 41, setting a new quick time, taking it away from our leader, Kurt Bray.
There we go. I figured it out. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, you think about it. These drivers were neck and neck before the pit cycle started with the 36 all over the back bumper of the 99. And if we pull up the pit strategy board once again, you can see Kurt Bray. He's been out there on those tires for 13 laps now, compared to Moranti. Just put the new ones on, but he's got about half a track on that 36 car. I mean, you can see there on the track map, Moranti's crossing the stripe now. Kurt Bray's almost halfway down the backstretch, so Dylan Moranti's got a heck of a drive ahead of him to catch up in 40 laps here. We'll see if he's able to do it, or if a caution's going to throw a wrench in everyone's plans. You can see, though, Moranti is gaining about a quarter of a second a lap here on the 99 truck. It's going to be, let's just say, if I do the math in my head, he's gaining a quarter second a lap. Let's just say hypothetically he gained that every lap over the next 40 laps, that's only 10 seconds. He's about 12 and a half seconds back, so he's going to have to put in a little bit more work than that in that 36 truck. Absolutely. We're going to step away for 2 seconds as America's crew chief, Larry McReynolds, does have something to let you fans know out there. We'll be right back.
I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
Now, if I'm going to listen to anybody, it's going to be America's crew chief, Larry McReynolds. Make sure you hit subscribe here on the channel of Hutchison Motorsports TV. Make sure you hit that like button, too. It really helps us out. Anything new in the comments, Christian, as this race starts to wind down here? Yeah. Let's take another look at that track map. I gotta be honest, I don't think it looks... I was gonna say, it looks pretty similar to what it did earlier to me. And yeah, you can see at the top, the interval just now getting under 12 seconds for Moranti. I think he's got too much of a steep hill to climb ahead of him. I'm not sure if he was hoping for a caution with only about 7-8 trucks on the track, or if he just thought the new tires weren't going to be such an advantage for the 99 when he got them. But what could have been for the 36 had he pit with the 99, we'll never know. We take a look at that pit strategy board. You can see the 7 of Ivan Desham's pitting a couple of times in the last handful of laps there. Not sure what that could be all about. You know, that's a good call. I didn't even think about that. Maybe Ivan Desham has the right idea. Just using things up. You don't have to tote them around with you. And yeah, the 99 is coming down again. Maybe with the 36 going long, maybe there's a fighting chance he has enough fuel. We'll bring up the pit strategy board once again. What's the longest anyone's win on a tank of fuel is probably the 47 laps there for Ivan Desham. It's been 14 laps since Morante pit. That is absolutely correct, and you can see there on the track map, the 99 has went from about half a track ahead of the 36 to having the 36 only a straightaway away from making the 99 lap traffic. But I think that Kurt Bray is going to be able to take off and run away from this 36, but it's going to become a fuel mileage game for Morante. Is he going to have enough at the end to be able to get across the stripe? Couple other drivers, as you see the 07/77 of Max Milazzo out of Petaluma, California. He just made himself another pit stop. 77 is 4 laps down at this point. He's still out there fighting, though. He's trying to hold off that the 7 of Deschamps from taking over that 5th spot. There is a good possibility that that could be the case, as you were saying. We look at the gap between Balance and Bray. It's about, I'd say about 12 seconds there between those two drivers. And we've only got about 25 laps left in this thing. So unless the 99 of Bray is catching that 41 truck by over half a second a lap, 41, as you said, might inherit a podium here, 2nd place finish. He's gained 5 spots from where he qualified earlier. take a look at these lap times. Look how much Kurt Bray is gaining on that 41 truck. I don't know if Balance has a second place locked down. And look at that, gained almost a second and a half just in one lap on that 41. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to steal Connor Gerard's favorite line and just say that this thing, the battle for second, with 24 laps to go, it could get intense. May not be the race that we hoped to watch tonight, having 3 cars on the lead lap, but that's just the case sometimes when it comes to league racing. If it stays clean and green, sometimes the skill gap between the drivers can really become evident, and we've had several trucks end up retired tonight. Of course, the main few of those being the 92 of Travis Burton and the 88 of Logan Gill, with that strange incident earlier that drew the first and only caution of the night. Other than that, it's been pretty straightforward racing.
But I think he's now within 0.6 of a second of him, so the speed is kind of falling off for Bray. Who gets around Chucky?
Just to throw a cherry on top, I don't know how long I've been talking to myself, but I've been talking to myself for quite a bit.
What did you...
The fans couldn't hear you, Christian.
Oh my goodness. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am back right now. Been wasting my breath. Jesse Becker apparently just wanted to turn my lips off.
I probably sound like a psychopath just talking to myself for... God, I hope that wasn't too long, but we are back, and we are ready to get these last 20 laps done the good way, as the 41 of Chucky Balance did come back down pit road, so does the 36 have enough?
You must have sounded normal enough. Connor in the chat didn't say a daggone thing. He didn't miss me one bit. Connor, I see how it is there, buddy.
Well, I just happened to look over at the Streamlabs to check the volumes, and you were in the middle of talking, and it was not very high, and that's when I knew we had a problem. I hope that didn't happen when we cut the Larry Mack promo, and it's been that long.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
geez,
Connor in the chat says, I was confused why Taylor was not talking. Man, oh man. Oh.
That's, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I'm the second string, and we let Blake handle most of the business around here, because I'm not built for it, but I just, oh man. It ain't much, but it's honest work.
It's okay, Jesse. You've done what many people wish they could do, and that's turn my lips off. It's a very hard thing to do. What comes to my head just usually comes out of my mouth, so congratulations on getting that done.
I was going to say, there's probably, a lot of people that wish they had a shut up Christian Taylor button, and I actually happen to have one, and it's pretty cool.
Just understand that she can only use...
I just used it for half of that sentence.
Oh my gosh. Now he's gone mad with power, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh ho ho! I have the power. It is incredible.
But in case you forgot, there's a race going on right now. Kurt Bray, 16 seconds back from Dylan Morante, your race leader, here with just over 15 laps to go. Nashville Speedway, Blackout Racing League, tonight's race being the Lamar Advertising 195. If you need some advertising done, get with Lamar Advertising.
Absolutely, and we might not have a restart to get the beautiful flybys that you're used to hearing for the Harpoon design, bring the noise. But I think what we can do is hop on board with this 36 truck, as he's got about 15 laps to go in this race from the lead. Listen to the sound of this beautiful engine and go ahead for a brief Harpoon design, bring the noise. Getting down to the nitty gritty here from Nashville Super Speedway and the Lamar Advertising 195 Blackout Racing League. We've got a 2-truck lead lap battle between the 36 of Dylan Morante and the 99 of Kurt Bray, your current points leader.
Definitely so. Kurt Bray trying to do what he could do to make up. We actually owe Dylan an apology. You know, earlier we had wrote him off. There's no way he could catch Bray. But, you know, apparently we just didn't study up on what these trucks could do when it comes to a pit cycle, because Bray had to pit. Dylan Morante inherited the lead, and now with 12 seconds back with 10 laps to go, if Dylan Morante can make it, which would be the longest run of the night, no, would it be?
Just under. I think if Morante goes from here, it'll either match or just be a lap less than the run he just did before this one. So I think that 36 has got it in the bag.
He definitely won. He was playing chess while everyone else on this track was playing checkers. He brought the bass guitar. Everyone else brought the banjo. Dylan Morante is rocking out here in Music City.
Yeah, you're not kidding. As my dog is even excited to see Dylan Morante leading the way in this thing with 10 laps to go here from Nashville. I thought it was a ridiculous idea staying out as long as he did, but boy was I wrong.
You know, it definitely, we both were wrong, because I was saying signed, sealed, and delivered, but just like in real racing, when iRacing, excuse me, when I try to rely on pit strategy to save my race, it destroys my race. Just like it did tonight with my pick here for Dylan to be second place. Nope. Kurt Bray is going to bring it home second place. If nothing crazy happens, Dylan Morante is going to be your race leader.
There's always that outside chance that something wild does happen. It's Kurt Bray I'd say about a little less than half a track behind the 36, not really gaining too much right now on our leader. But with 8 laps to go, anything could happen. But if nothing does, nothing's stopping this 36 from taking home the win.
Definitely not, as he crosses the line. 7 to go now. Connor Gerard in the chat. This is just a calm Sunday drive. That's what it is for Dylan Morante here. Acting like he knows Nashville like the back of his hand with 7 laps to go here in the Lamar Advertising 195. This will be his first win.
Sunday drive for sure. As he's leading the way in this one, I believe you were about to say his first win on the season.
Definitely so. Just looking through the season so far, Kurt Bray in that 99 machine won Talladega. Las Vegas winner was Justin Bell, who is actually out of this race tonight now. Your 7th place, who is now actually out of the race too, William Hightower won Darlington, but couldn't make it happen here at Nashville. And the Atlanta race winner was Logan Gill.
Let's take a look at what could have happened here. We've got some words being exchanged between Charles Balance and Brian Newell.
41 just gives him a little kiss there.
Man.
You know, he said he ruined his race, but I don't see it. Was that a race ruining move? I don't think so.
It was a battle for position, because that was what put the 41 into 3rd place. I wouldn't call it a race ruiner, but definitely a podium ruiner. I think there was a big tire difference.
Big tire difference. The pass was gonna happen. So
yeah,
I mean now, I'm not saying it's a clean move, and I'm not saying contact is ever the answer, but it was the inevitable.
Yeah, you take a look at our pit strategy board. Charles Balance was on 13-lap newer tires. The pass was inevitable. He could have been a little more patient. You know he's not going to be able to get to that 2nd spot. So maybe it would have just been better for the 41 to wait a little bit and for the lane to open.
Definitely so, but we got 3 laps to go here at Nashville Super Speedway. Just 7 cars, now 6 under the Tennessee sun. The intensity is turned up like a guitar solo on Broadway. Every tire is screaming on this concrete. Every driver is searching for that perfect line. Is Dylan Morante going to be the one to write his name in the Nashville record books today? We got 2 laps to find out.
Sitting 3rd in the points right now, looking for win number 1 on the season for the 36. Could boost him up the standings pretty well, seeing as William Hightower out of this race, Dylan Morante could find himself in 2nd. I don't know if he's going to be able to take the lead over from Kurt Bray, though, as it looks like Bray's going to finish right behind him.
Definitely so. White flag out here at Nashville as he's taking the final lap around the track. We're going to watch him go on around. Next week, we'll be in Charlotte for the V5 Designs 195. 130 laps around that track. But down the backstretch for the final time into turn 3, I hand it off to Jesse.
Dylan Morante going through turns 3 and 4. Nothing's going to stop that 36 Blackout Motorsports Chevy Silverado coming out of turn 4. The 36 Dylan Morante brings home win number 1 on the season here at Nashville Super Speedway. The 99 of Kurt Bray gonna bring home that 2nd spot. Charles Chucky Balance crosses the line. He's a lap down. He's locking up that 3rd spot right now.
That's your lead lap right there. 2 cars, and then there's Chucky. 1 lap down. Just an impressive show. It was the Dylan and Bray show here tonight.
I do got to ask, Christian,
ladies and gentlemen,
is this going to be a first for HMS TV, interviewing a podium finisher that did not finish on the lead lap?
You know, I can't confirm, but it may just be.
Well, as we're going to watch the 36 burn it down, we'll give these drivers a few minutes to get ready for their interviews, and then we'll be back with a little bit of a post-race show where we interview the top 3 drivers of this race. As we're back for the brief little Hutchison Motorsports TV post-race show here from Nashville Super Speedway. Christian, are you ready to talk to our podium finishers tonight?
I am. They worked hard all night. Let's get them in here.
All right, starting with the third place finisher, Charles Chucky Balance. Let's talk to him. Hey, Charles, it's Jesse and Christian up in the booth. Do you have a copy, my friend?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the booth here, bringing home the top three tonight. I got to say, this might be a first for Hutchison Motorsports TV, interviewing a top three finisher, even though you didn't end up on the lead lap, but a long green flag run at the end there. Talk me through this race for you tonight.
Car started out real tight. Truck started out real tight, and we just kind of rode around. But I had a good long run car. The strategy just didn't quite play out, but we still brought it home in the top three. So can't be any more proud of this team.
I know you had a little bit of a run-in with the 24 there of Brian Newell towards the end, making that pass for third. Did you just, was the speed difference a little bit of a surprise for you? You just didn't expect to get onto his back bumper that quick?
Yeah, I mean, he checked way up, and that last stop I took right sides and a splash of fuel. And so I had a little fresher tires on the right side, so the truck was really turning in the corner. So I just got in the corner a little better than him. Won't expect him to check up. I hated I bumped him. That was not my intention. But, you know, things happen. The pass would have happened either way because I was way faster than he was.
Absolutely. Christian, you got anything for the 41?
Well, you asked them about what I was going to be curious about, but congratulations tonight on your third place finish here at Nashville.
Appreciate it. It's the best finish this season in either league, either PGR or BRL. So super proud of this team. I hope we can continue on to success this season.
Got any shout outs for us before we send you back down to your team?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Brandon Smith. You know, he had a hard time going on, so I just hope he gets his situation straight. Blackout Motorsports, 213 Simware, Simbox, my wife and kids, just everybody who watches, appreciate all the support. My homeboy Guns, he was watching tonight's first race he's watched all season. Actually finished the race, so kudos, shout out to him.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations once again on the podium finish, Mr. Charles Balance.
I appreciate it. Great broadcast. Appreciate y'all for stepping in and getting us back on the air.
Thank you. So that was your P3 finisher there, Mr. Charles Balance. Yeah, I think it's a new one for sure, interviewing somebody for a podium finish, even though they're not even on the lead lap, but with a smaller field and a long green flag run like that, he still deserves that third place finish, I think.
Definitely so. Definitely a deserving one. I got to say hi to Bones Doze in the chat. Another one of the HMS TV goats. If you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button. Become a goat yourself. Nonetheless, we got to get the second place finisher, Kurt Bray, in the chat. Bringing it home. Second place, Nashville Super Speedway here tonight.
Let's bring him in. Kurt, it's Christian and Jesse up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I hear you guys.
All right. Well, bringing home the second place finish. And I got to say, that was a long green flag run at the end. And we thought that you were on the winning strategy for sure. And we thought that the 36 of Moranti was crazy for staying out as long as he did. We were misunderstanding, I guess, the pit strategy there towards the end. Go ahead and walk us through what your strategy was and what you were hoping to have happen there.
Just before the green flag pit stops initially started there, I saved a lot of tire. I mean, when these tires get hot, they drive like they're not even on the car anymore. So when I realized, it's probably going to go green, I'd rather just do an alternate strategy. I've always been one to take the alternate strategy, and it could have worked, and with about 12 laps to go, I was picking up about a second-ish a lap, and I would have caught him, but After about 30 laps on these tires, they fall off to a point, and they stay there because the tire heats up so much where it doesn't even matter about how much wear it has anymore. So once I got the lap traffic, then it was basically set in stone from there. Definitely could have beat him if I just stayed with him and followed his exact strategy, but I wanted to be stubborn and try and do it a different way. So we came on P2 though. Still pretty happy about it.
I was going to say, you guys were nose to tail for most of the first run and then that second run before the strategies started to change for sure. Christian, you got anything for Kurt here?
No, just congratulations for that second place finish tonight. We're going to give you a chance to give out any shout outs you might have.
Shout out to my team. I enjoy sitting there having fun with them every single race. They crack me up. They keep me focused during the race. If they weren't there, I definitely would have been hitting more walls and probably would have ended my race early because I have a hard time focusing during these long green flags runs. So shout out to them. Thank you guys for hosting this stream. I love watching everything back. So definitely have a new subscriber for me. Thank you guys for filling in and supporting our league. I'm really thankful.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Brandon Smith's show. This is his baby. We're just thankful that we're able to step up to the plate for these races he has to miss and keep y'all on the big screen. So definitely thank you guys for having us as well, and congratulations once again on the P2 finish.
All right, thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. That leaves one more driver to talk to, but before we get to that, Larry Mack's got to remind you one more time about your duty tonight.
I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
But let's go ahead and talk to tonight's winner, the 36 of Dylan Morante. Christian, I'm going to bring him in. I'm going to let you lead this interview.
All right. Your race winner tonight, Nashville Super Speedway here in the Blackout Racing League. Dylan Morante in the chat. This is this is Jesse and Christian up the booth. We got a copy.
Yes, I do. How you doing?
Doing well. Welcome in. P1 here tonight. We honestly got a little bit of a confession to make. We wrote you off about right before you pit that last time, or before Bray pit that last time, the race was signed, sealed, and delivered for Kurt. However, you made it work, stayed out, or pit when you needed to do to make the last stretch there. Brought it home in victory lane tonight. How do you feel?
Good. It was overall kind of just a boring and lonely second half of the race after Kurt pit, but other than that, it was good battles up front with Kurt while he was there before the green flag pit strategies took into play, and just happy to bring home a good result. I know Charles had a good result as well, so good team points tonight.
Always good to have a team effort there. Jesse.
Yeah, it was a tight battle between you and the 99 at the very beginning. I believe it was, you led the way for the first run. He led the way for the second run, but it was a whole lot of nose to tail racing. Do you think if he stuck to your strategy, do you think it would have came down to the wire between you two?
Oh, absolutely. He's a very talented driver, so if we were on similar strategies, it definitely would have been down to the line, especially with the fuel game. It definitely would have been a little harder to save the fuel if we were racing the whole way, but it would have been a close battle.
Absolutely, and this is your first win on the season, so that's got to feel good. It's probably going to set you up into second place in the points too, I have to imagine.
It definitely feels good to finally bring home the win. I've had some bit of poor luck these last couple of races, so to be able to finally bring home the win after always being up front and not getting a good result feels good.
Well, before we close it out tonight, do you have any shout-outs you want to make?
Yeah, of course. Shout out to you guys for showing up and putting on the stream for us. Shout sure it was a great one as always. Shout out to our sponsor, which was Lamar Advertising. And yeah, just shout out to everyone that raced tonight. I know it was a smaller field. We kind of down on drivers right now, but hopefully we can see some guys start making their return here shortly, and we can start getting some more numbers in these races and have some more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. There wasn't a whole lot of numbers, but it was definitely still some good racing and some interesting pit strategies. So congratulations once again on your first win of the season, Dylan Moranti.
Thank you.
All right, Christian. Well, that's going to wrap it up here tonight from Nashville Super Speedway. Did this race go about how you thought it would here tonight?
You know, it kind of went a little bit. I didn't expect there to be 2 cars on the lead lap, but, you know, Dylan Morante and Kurt Bray were definitely the class of the field tonight, putting on a show. No one else had a chance out there, so I won't say it went exactly the way that I thought it would, but a huge props to Dylan and Kurt and even Chucky there for finishing in the 3rd position, as the rest of the field either had trouble or couldn't compete tonight.
Yeah, I gotta say it was cool to see some more familiar faces and see them out there on the track, and we're excited to bring you the next 3 weeks here from Blackout Racing League as well. After tonight, which was Nashville, next week, next Sunday, we've got Charlotte coming at you, and then after that, which I think is going to be a really good one, is North Wilkesboro, and then we get to round it out, I believe, with the All-Star race at Auto Club. So a lot of good races coming up here for the Blackout Racing League, and hopefully everybody can stay tuned in, come out and enjoy the show. Christian, you got any last words for our fans out there?
Nope, just stay tuned next week. Like Jesse said, Charlotte Motor Speedway, the V5 Designs 195. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say one last time, head on over to harpoondesign.com. Click that little red button, order your $25 starting paint there. Always good to look good on the track too. Ladies and gentlemen, harpoondesign.com.
Absolutely. You didn't say a word wrong there. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, even screw it, hit the bell too. Gotta hit the bell to let you know whenever we're going live. I believe our next stream from this point is going to be, the Super Formula Light race in Motor City Racing, so stay tuned for that one. I believe that one's tomorrow night, so more racing coming up here before you know it. With that, signing out for Christian Taylor in the booth, this is Jesse Becker. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
42 right there with him. Smokes him. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the whole field is junk. It's a parking lot. They door slam each other. Checkered flag in the air. It's going to be too close to call. Oh, he just got smoked. Oh, my goodness. Turned. He got dumped in the racing. Caution is out. Oh,